as I said, he was my friend too. He said, Dad, I pray for your long life, but I feel I'm going before you go. And please, one thing, that if it happened that way, that you are going to get all kind of people. You are going to get Muslims, non-Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, or other religion, men and women you are going to get, and children. Please welcome them with open arm and respect them.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة الصلاة
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Blessed be the one who created all of us, and he created death and life. And the purpose of death and life is to test everyone how this person is nice and how is good to himself and to his God, herself and her God. So there are two messages from this verse of Quran. One is the message of life, and one is the message of death. So the message of life is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the God, created human being. They started their journey from Adam and Eve, and they are allowed to live in this world, to enjoy whatever position they have, and they to live with this world, whatever position and skill they are given. But the only demand from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to use it in a better way, to use it for the goodness, for the prosperity, for the betterment of himself and herself, for the sake of community, for the sake of country, for the sake of humanity. and to please God with all these actions, whatever we are doing. And the message of death, that God never informed anyone how long this person will live in this world and when the death moment will come. It is unknown. But the message is that we be ready to accept the call from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anytime we are going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the message is that now we were living with our community, we were living with our family, now that we are back to God alone and we will be there with our own deeds. So this is a very great message, and actually this is giving us a very great moment when we are here, just saying farewell to our beloved brother from a member of our community, and we appreciate. And it is actually a very great message for all, that how this person was good in his lifetime and how people are really accepting and recognizing his services in his time and how they are attending. So the moment is very great, and really we appreciate all those who came here and they are actually giving support for this community. And I hope that the legacy of the Maqsood Khan will continue by other members, by other people, those who will be in the same path. They will be a good Muslim, they will be a good citizen, and they will be a good member of community, and they will be always try to achieve the better side of life, to make their life good, and to their departure of death also good, and they will be in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He will welcome them, and He will give them all the best of reward of this thing. So this is a great moment for all of us, and it is also a reminder for us as well, because we are also in the same way. So we're supposed to be ready for that thing with good, can say, deeds and good actions and good way we can offer and can bring in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Today, look around you, right and left. We have people from all races, all religions in this room. And we have a rule that says you can't be a good Muslim unless you are a good human being. If anything could embody the greatness of our beautiful, wonderful brother Maqsood Khan, is this funeral. It shows the greatness of this man. We have the honorable political leaders who came all the way from Ottawa. I don't want to mention names and miss others. I'd be in trouble. We have their worship, the mayor of Mississauga, the mayor of Oakville, and I'm sure we have ministers, MPs, former governors, former premiers. We have the law enforcement, the chiefs, you name it, everybody's here. Religious leaders, see the rabbi there. We have all faiths. I envy Max for this. If I die and I have all these people in my janazah, it shows that I symbolize what Prophet Muhammad was all about. I know how sad you are. 2 weeks ago we were together. Brother Mufti, Dr. Ali Khan, yourself, and our beautiful brother doing interfaith program in Oakville, in one of the only synagogue in, and I witnessed, I have pictures. All of us, we had the picture. You took the picture. And the last words in the conference was about terrorism and what we can do from an interfaith perspective. He said, my Islam does not allow what's happening in the world. We should work hard as Canadians, as Muslims. This was a man who stood for Canadian values and Islamic values. This man proves to me as a father that it is possible to raise someone who knows his God and knows his duty and community obligations. If anything can embody the greatness of this man, this funeral. So let me just say what the Prophet, peace be upon him, said. Inna lillahi ma akhad. To Allah belongs what he took. وَلَهُ مَا أَعْطَى. And to him belongs what he gave. وَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ بِأَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى. And everyone and everything on this earth must have a deadline. Yes, he was young. He's actually my age. He's exactly my age. Many of us at this age, we have too many responsibilities. We think we have it. You know, but this is his time. You can't refute that. So you are a believer, as I know you for many years. Your family is a family who's known for generosity, for building mosques and community centers and schools, and he took part of that. For feeding the poor, you're known for that. So let's celebrate his legacy by keeping our faith. Look what Prophet said, and he's saying this to you. Everyone and everything will have a deadline. You can't change that. It's destiny. One of the pillars of our faith, we believe in fate, whether good or bad. We can't do nothing. This is qada and qadar. So please, there is a good consolation from Prophet ﷺ said, if you lose your beloved son or daughter and you act patiently, you have nothing but Jannah. So congratulations. At the same time I say condolences. So my last word to continue what he said, وَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ عَنْدَهُ بِأَجْلٍ مُسَمَّى فَلْتَصْبِرْ وَلْتَحْتَسِبْ. Be patient and expect to see him again in the hereafter. We believe.
Now I will request our Honorable Consul General of Pakistan, Mr. Asghar Ali Goli, to say a few words.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. In Surah Baqarah, God Almighty clearly mentions that He will test us with the death of our beloved, the loss of properties. But those who would show patience would be the best of the human beings. And I'm very happy at this sad occasion that Maqsood Khan's untimely death, even when I went to his father yesterday, I saw patience in him, and you are really the great friend of Almighty Allah as well as our community. I, on behalf of the government of Pakistan, the consulate, the entire community in Canada, our families and our colleagues express our heartfelt condolences. Maqsood Khan's untimely death, as I said, as Imam said, was written in the book, and we accept God's decision wholeheartedly. But we will yet mourn his death, as he was our great friend, our companion, our partner. I have yet to see an admirable leader like Max Khan. I cherish every moment of my association with him. Only a few weeks back, we came to your home, and I distinctly remember the way he looked after and played with my kids. Everyone in our home and everyone in our community is saddened. May God bless Max Khan and afford him the highest place in the Jannah, and grant us the fortitude, all of us, to you, your family, to bear this irreparable loss. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Azhar Sahab.
Assalamu alaikum. I have disturbed protocol that Max wouldn't mind. I have a plane to catch and have to get back to work in Ottawa, where I'm giving a speech this evening. But it was extremely important to me for me to be here amongst all of Max's friends to first and foremost pass all our deepest condolences on to his family. It's inconceivable to all of us who knew and loved Max that someone with such an extraordinary force for life should now not be with us. But we must take it as we look around this extraordinary room filled with what's best of Canada. Because what's best of Canada is the fact that we are this country that has figured out how to be strong, not in spite of our differences, but because of those differences, bound together by values and by a belief and an optimism for the future that we are willing to work so hard for. Max was incredibly excited about the opportunity to serve our country as a member of Parliament for Oakville, and he worked incredibly hard, and it is dumbfounding to all of us, his friends, his family, and his larger liberal family, that he not be with us, but we will remember his positive strength, his spirit, his dedication to service, and his conviction that the work we do here today and every day will lead us to a better world of peace and justice for all. Thank you very much. May peace and blessings be upon you.
Is Honorable GAYA-KACHEE still here? Yes, I'll request that.
Thank you very much. I apologize, I was actually in the back. I know what Max will be saying. There you go, car, you screwed up again. I did want to, and I didn't know I was going to be speaking, but I did want to tell one quick little story about Max. We all know what a loving, generous person he was and what he did for our community. But about a month or so ago, we were down for the Good Roads Conference, and we go there, we meet with all the cabinet ministers, and my lovely wife Teresa and I, and they had met before at FCM and got into a discussion for about an hour about politics. So we knew Teresa. We were coming up to get some soup in the underground. And for any of you who have been in Toronto, it is totally packed with people coming back and forth. And just as we come through, the crowds part, and there is Max, with that patent big smile that I swear I've never seen on any other human being. So he saw Teresa and I, big grin on his face. He comes up, "What are you doing here?" And I think he was either going back to work or going to a case. We said, "Well, we're down for the conference, so we're going to meet." And this shows you what it's all about. He talked a little bit, and he said who's here, and Alan was here, and Sean, and so on. The first thing he says is, "What's Teresa doing?" And I said, "Well, she's going to go shopping." This man that served so much said, "Well, you know what? My car's in the parking lot. Why don't you take my car and use it for the day?" That's what this man was all about. First thoughts were my wife and what he could do to help by giving him his car. Now, I kiddingly said afterwards, I didn't know it was a BMW. I understand I would have actually taken it and kept it for a month. But that just is a short little story to show you what this man is all about. Nothing, and we will have a lot of stories what he did for our community, but that's the special man. To his father, who I know gave him all those great qualities, our thoughts and our prayers are with you. I can tell you, as somebody that's been an elected official, I've known a lot of people, federal, provincial, municipal level. There isn't a finer human being than your son. And we are so honored to have him known. And so on behalf of the Region of Council and all of the people of Halton, we can say truly that this was a man that inspired all of us.
Thank you so much, Gary. Now, we have another mayor of GTA Toronto, John Tory, who has come here from all the way. So I will ask him to come forward and say a few words. He's still around. John Tory. Okay. So I will request now the second mayor of Oakville, Rob Burton, who has been his very close friend also, and he has long memories with him.
Assalamu alaikum. Every life is a tapestry full of various threads, and through the tapestry of Max's life, there ran several very strong and bold threads of joy of life and determination to make his life count every day to make the world better. I have never met the like of it in any of the people I have known in my 69 years. When I met Maqsood, he told me a story that I think helps to explain his motivation. I want to share this story with you because I think it is the truest and best thing I know about Max Kahn. He told me when I met him that when he was 8, and for those of you who do not know, Max was born in Mississauga. Max was raised as Canadian as any Canadian in this country, and still was true to his heritage and his religion. But he was a thoroughgoing 100% Canadian. And when he was 8, he told me, and this is one of those stories that's very true. This story is so true, has so much truth in it, it does not matter if a little fact is wrong here or there. We should not let the facts get in the way of an important, good story. When he was 8, he told me, he came home and someone had spray painted on the garage door, "Paki." And he was deeply wounded, shocked, and did not know what to do. And he sought counsel from his parents. And this, he told me, is what his parents told him. And this, I think, is something that we all should keep close if we mean to honor the life that Max led. He said that his mother sat him down, and his mother said to him, "Max, the way we deal with that is by setting a better example. We don't turn to hate, we don't turn to violence, we set a better example." And Max lived those words thoroughly. And he is a credit to his parents, and his parents are a credit to our country for teaching that. And when the imam mentioned the All Faiths evening and what Max concluded the evening with, you see how this traces straight back to that. And I lay it right at the feet of his parents. And I know that all of his siblings, his brother and his sisters, also have witnessed to that principle. So, inshallah, we will all follow his example. Inshallah, the world will be better because we knew Max. And I thank you for the opportunity on behalf of all of my colleagues to share this story that I think captures the truest and best thing I know about my friend.
Thank you, Mayor Robertson, for your kind words and your experience with Max Kahn. Now I will also...
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It is with a heavy heart that I'm here today to pay tribute to my friend Max. And on behalf of Mississauga City Council, I want to extend my sincerest condolences to Mahmoud and his family, who are all great friends. And I'm doing that on behalf of us all. When we first learned of Max's sudden and shocking and tragic passing, I must say I did so on the internet, on social media, as many of you did, waking up to the news on Sunday. And I was heartbroken and shocked that such a thing could happen in our community to someone so beloved. And the simple outpouring of such affection and love showed what a positive impact Max had on us all in his short life. I first met Max in 2008 when we were both young, nominated candidates, and we attended all the requisite barbecues and banquets and picnics together and town hall meetings. And it really demonstrated the kind of conviction, the kind of passion, the values he had that we both shared. He struck me as a man with so much passion and so much compassion for other people. If there are words that could describe Max, they will certainly be charismatic and dynamic. I see heads shaking. No one could move a crowd the way Max could. He was such an articulate speaker because it came from his heart. He cared so much about everyone, but particularly about those the most vulnerable in our community. And just a few weeks ago, he and I were sitting in a room with Justin Trudeau, leader of the Liberal Party, talking about the lives of Mississaugans, Oakvillians, Canadians, and how we can work together as municipal and federal members to improve those lives. And once again, the impact he made demonstrated how much he cared, not only about his people in Oakville, but all of Canadians. He was here to do good and to make a positive impact on people's lives. And that's why he was brought to us here on earth, but sadly taken from us at such a young age. And that really is the tragedy, because I know he would have distinguished himself as a parliamentarian. I know he would have been elected to go to Ottawa in this upcoming election. And my only regret is those in Ottawa would not benefited from his passion, his conviction, and his rhetoric, his ability to rise and define a debate. That we have all missed. We're left with the great work he has done, and we will all work hard in his memory to continue to do the work that I know Max would wanted us to have done. So many tears have been shed, and hearts have been broken, but we have to find strength from the man we knew. Everyone in this room has cherished and will have lasting memories of Max, and I hope that they will always bring you comfort. And again, to Max's family, we are all here for you. We loved Max. Mahmoud, we are here for you and your family. And may Allah bless him and keep him forever, and we will always cherish his memory. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Crombie. I will now call upon Councillor Kevin Flynn, who has been a very close friend of Max himself. MPP Kevin Flynn.
Assalamu alaikum. Well, I know Max is laughing at my entrance. Certainly I didn't expect to speak today, but I'm so glad that I do have the opportunity to, because there's a number of us here that you'll be hearing from today who are from the political field. And the type of person you are determines what sort of politician you will be. I think if anybody in this room was looking for an example of what a good representative of the people should be, they need not look much further than Max Khan. Max Khan embodied and epitomized everything that people want in a politician. He was the sort of person that brought humility to the job. It wasn't about Max, it was about you. It was about the community. It was about what he could do for you. Max would never tell you how good he was. Max would always tell you how good you were. Max would always bring out the best in you. And if there was ever a hard task to be accomplished, if there was ever a cause that needed to be followed that looked like it may be tough or may not even be achievable, you needn't look much further than Max Khan to find an ally in getting it done. I think often as politicians we think of, are we doing a good job? Are we making a mark? Are we doing the right things? I think if at the end of your political career, sometimes you choose that yourself, sometimes Allah chooses it, sometimes the people choose it. But at the end of that career, you can look back and you can say, did I make a difference? Was I respected in my community? Was I the sort of person that my sons, my daughters would look up to as a parent? Was I the sort of person that was a good son? I think if you asked all those questions of yourself right now about the man that we're here to honor today, the answer would be yes on all accounts. We've lost somebody very, very special here in our community. Those of us that knew him will understand how well he was beloved, how much good he did, how humble he was, the things he accomplished, the things he did quietly, the things he did that you will never know he did. Just the person he was helping, the person he was working with, very, very quietly he would do those things. So I've lost a good friend. I've lost, obviously, a colleague politically. But more than that, my community has lost a great man. So on behalf of the Premier, Mahmoud, and family, on behalf of the Premier, on behalf of all members of the Legislative Assembly of the Province of Ontario, please accept our sincere condolences. He will be remembered.
I will now holding off to another dear friend of Maxon who has traveled all the way here, former leader of the Liberal Party, Bob.
Assalamu alaikum. It's been a very hard time this weekend, but I want especially to speak to my friend Mahmoud, who you can tell from the fact that our hair is the same color, that we've known each other for quite a long time. I can only say to Mahmoud that life is not always fair. And sometimes the world has a way of breaking your heart. But the heart can mend. And as we've learned today and reflected on today again, death comes to us all, and it does not always come at the time that we would choose. It comes at a time when the Creator chooses for us. And so we will all go from this place. Those of us who knew Max and loved him, he was a sweet, sweet man. He was a loving soul. He was a vibrant spirit. He had a smile that could light up a room and could bring warmth to your heart. He was a fighter. He struggled, and he appeared to have won his battle. But we don't control the ways of life. We don't control the ways of death. Everything that's been said here today is so true. And perhaps because I no longer am engaged in the partisan battle, I can simply say to Mahmoud, please, and to all of your family, you are not alone. You will feel alone. And to lose a son, in a sense, out of time, is the hardest thing. I know when my younger brother died, many years ago now, and there's not a day goes by when I don't reflect on his life and on his passing. My parents said that they did not know how they could carry on. But you will carry on. You will carry on. And our lives will go on. And together we need to remember that tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, we need to be there in memory of Maqsood, in memory of what he did. We need to find ways to commemorate his life, to remember what he did. Let none of us forget for a moment what this smiling spirit meant to us, what he was able to do for each one of us, and what he was able to do for his family, and what he was able to do for his community, and what he would have been able to do for this country. And this is the sense of loss that we have. It's such a great sadness when we all awoke on Sunday morning to hear this news. It was so hard for us to accept it. But we must accept it. And we must learn that none of us can live a life without defeat and can live a life without death. And so, Mahmoud, we are with you today, and we shall walk this road together as we remember Max, and we shall work together to build a better place in his honor and in his memory. And let this day be a day not only of sadness for you, but be a day of pride. Be a day of honor. Be a day of blessed memory, but a day that will also allow us to see the sunshine tomorrow, and for us to work together in peace and in harmony. Salam alaikum.
Before I invite my last speaker here, and then another friend of Max Khan who was working with the organization, our local community organization, Brother Faraz. Very quick 2 minutes, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you all. I just wanted to reflect quickly, inshallah. We always hear about people that work hard and keep serving till the last day of their lives. And you wonder what kind of people are those? What kind of legends are those that will keep going till the last day of their lives? Brother Maqsood, about 4 weeks ago, he joined a group, a planning group where we sit and plan for our community. And we all know that he's dedicated himself to every community. He's dedicated himself to Canada, serving everybody and helping everybody. Every time we go to the meeting, he's the first one there, despite of his busy schedule, because he loves to give. Last Thursday we had a meeting and he wasn't there. And I was personally surprised. And subhanAllah, I wanted to call him and ask him, because I knew there's something wrong that he wasn't at that meeting. And then I heard what happened on Saturday. I just wanted to say, subhanAllah, this is a person that truly served to the last minute of his life. We all testify and we all make shahada in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this man has worked to the last day of his life, serving and giving and looking out for the best interest of humanity, best interest of Canada, best interest of his Muslim community. We testify and we will stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to say that we've seen him doing it and we know that he worked out of his heart. May Allah bless him, shower him with his mercy and give you patience. And as the Imam said, the pride that you have brought such a man to this earth that served and died while serving. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah khairan. Before I call upon my beloved brother Mahmood Khan Sahab, father of Maqsood Khan, I just want to just say one sentence here, that I have met so many people while I was at home of Brother Mahmood. Even before that, I have met so many people. When at the hospital, right after midnight, people were coming in with their tears in their eyes, and they were not coming in only from one community. There were communities from Sikh community, from Hindus, from the Christians, and the Jews, and the Muslims, and you name it. And they were all crying for departing soul. That's what the character of Max Khan was. And sometimes we say it's the loss of community. I say it's the loss of Canada, because we have lost a very capable person, a person who was so devout, who was passionate to serve humanity, and who was so energetic. We will miss him a lot. Now I will request the father.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, before I say anything, I would like to welcome all of you.
Mike.
Because there was a message from my son, which I say he was a son of the whole community. Yes. But I can say that beside he was my son, he was my close friend. Before I give his message, I am asking all the brothers and sisters in this mosque, if he hurted anybody anyway, I apologize on his behalf. please forgive him. If he owe anything to anybody, I stand here, I'm prepared to pay for that. If you don't want to demand, please forgive him. His message, 3 weeks ago we were talking. As I said, he was my friend too. He said, Dad, I pray for your long life, but I feel I'm going before you go. And please, one thing, that if it happened that way, that you are going to get all kind of people. You are going to get Muslims, non-Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Sikhs, or other religion, men and women you are going to get, and children. Please welcome them with open arm and respect them. And I respect all of you because of his message. Please accept that one. Thank you very, very much. Thing is that as far as his qualities of life is concerned, I can say that he did not have 45 years of age. He had over 100 years of age. The way he worked for the community, day and night, and that's why I'm saying that it was more than 45 years. Our very respected friend, our mayor, Rob Burden, he called him a tiger, tireless tiger. But I want to use a little bit more hard word. I'm saying he was crazy. The way he was working. And whatever he had, he wanted to accomplish that one, he wanted to finish that one to the satisfaction to the people he was involved. And if I start talking to the people he was sharing with me about his work, about his boss, about his colleagues, I need long time to explain it. One thing I say before I close, he was loving you, and basic things for any success, that you have to be honest and you have to be hardworking. And by God, he had both qualities. He was honest, he was hardworking, he was obedient, and he was sincere with the people and with his life. At this point, I do not have proper words to express how I'm thankful to all of you. In spite of busy day, working day, you people have come over here and have given us honor with your presence. God bless you all. Thank you.
I've been just told that we also have a former mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford, if he can say a few words before he comes. I've been also given a special message from our very dear community member, the owner of the Paramount Restaurants, Mohammed Faqih, has sent special deepest condolences to the family who is out of country right now. So his condolences from him.
Inshallah. Hallelujah. Islam for ya. Knowing Max, we cross paths, as you know, in politics. You go to conferences, you go to dinners. But I'm going to do now what Max did numerous times. He used to see people in the corner of the room. And he used to go over. And I said, Max, we sit at the same table. Where are you going? Oh, I have a friend over there. And, I have a friend over here. And he used to give up his time. It was always about them. Not you. It's always about them. So instead of me talking, we've heard everything As Max is fantastic, and he was the hardest working and graceful. But it's about them. He always emphasized that. And at this time, I'm going to pick out a friend just like he did and let him talk about Max. And that's my friend. Dr. Shafiq Quadri has been a friend of mine for a long time, for 15 years. And I'd like him to come forward. He's been an MPP for Etobicoke North and well respected. And that's what Max would have wanted. He would have given it to somebody else. And I was wondering if the doctor would like to come forward and say a few words.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Uncle Mahmood, my dear friends and colleagues in the municipal side, mayors Burton and Crombie, still the mayor of us all, the Honourable Robert Ford, a fellow Etobicokean. आज अंकल जी आपको क्या कह सकते हैं? जो आपने खोया वो हमने सब खोया। जिस तरह से बताया गया यहाँ पे, ये ना सिर्फ आपकी ख़ानदान का लॉस है, ओकविल का भी लॉस है, और मैं समझता हूँ कि इस मुल्क का भी लॉस है, जिस तरह से हमारे लोगों ने अभी आपको बताया है। Rob Ford and I both know what it means to bury a father. Rob's father passed away several years ago. My father passed away a year and a half. Rob, I'd like to, by the way, publicly thank you and salute you and honor you, sir, for showing up to my father's funeral in Scarborough. So we have some sense of loss and what disappears from the household. I can only begin, Mahmood uncle, to appreciate not merely the community and political and councillor and legal and automotive loss, but sir, कि आपके खानदान में क्या हुआ है? As I've said, as Rob Ford can tell you and I can tell you, to bury a father is one thing. To bury not only a son, but a son of this caliber is something that will take quite a while. हमें हज़म पता नहीं कब होगा, कैसे नहीं होगा. But in front of my respected imams, I would also add our condolences and salute and salams on behalf of the Premier, on behalf of my colleague from Etobicoke, the Honourable Robert Ford, and sir, मेरे ख्याल में मेरे वालिद साहब और आपके बेटे मेरे ख्याल में इस वक्त साथ होंगे. अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.
Thank you, Dr. Shafiq Saab. There are so many other honorable guests here. I would love to have them all here, but due to the time constraints, my hands are very tight. Honorable John McCallum is here, and there are many other representatives from the provincial government, from the federal government, from the local councillors, and many other dear friends. So I apologize if I cannot call your names and bring you here, but I thank you so much from the corner of my heart to be here today. I'll just, now we are going to conclude and we're going to take the janaza to the Glen Oaks Cemetery, as I said, 9th line and Dundas Corner. The way that we'll go from here, that we will go out and turn left on the North Service Road, and then turn right, that is north, on Winston Churchill Boulevard, and merge into QEW towards West Hamilton, and then we'll take Ford Drive, and then north on Ford Drive, and then go straight, and then continue onto the 9th line.
To Blackberry Z10. If anybody has lost it, please come. This is for the ladies section, yes, and come to the forward. Come forward to the member. Sit over here, and we will return it. Thanks. The brother that picked up the BlackBerry phone for the lady, could you bring it?
Street party. Good man.
Sorry? Yeah.
brothers and sisters, everyone here. Today is Maqsood Khan. Tomorrow, any one of us. So there is nothing as soon as he's buried. May Allah give him tabat as he's being asked by the angels, Man Rabbuk, who was your Lord? He will say, Rabbi Allah. And when he's asked Ma Dinuk, he says, Dini al-Islam. And when he's asked, what man al-Rajul alladhi ba'athakum, they say, he says, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah give him tabat, يثبت الله الذين آمنوا بالقول الثابت في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة. Allah gives the right words to be pronounced both in this life and the hereafter. He gives us the steadfastness. And that steadfastness, I pray to Allah Almighty to give it to Maqsood Khan and to make his journey to him a safe and peaceful journey. May he enjoy his journey with God. اللهم ارحمه يا رحيم واغفر له يا غفور اللهم اكرمه يا مكرم اللهم اكرمه يا كريم اللهم اعفو عنه اللهم اجعل هذا القبر روضة من رياض الجنة اللهم اجعله في المهديين واجعله في أعلى العليين مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين وحسن أولئك رفيقا اللهم ارحمه فإنك به اللهم عامله بلطفك ولا تعامله بعدلك إنك أنت اللطيف الرحيم اللهم ارحمه واغفر له يا رب العالمين وارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان وارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان وارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وذكرنا وأنثانا اللهم أحيته منا فأحيا على الإسلام الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك
Here's clear path, gentlemen, right here, please.
From the earth we create you, and to the earth we put you back, and from it we recreate you. Okay. Line up, please. So how do you want us to go, brother? This way? Line up this way. Line up this way.
Put it on the side, don't put it on the Put it on the side, inshallah. Don't move the rock.
They could bear by hand. Take it from there and put it from there. Make space for us.
You heard the Imam reciting this ayah when you put the dust in the grave. What it really means that from this dust we created you, we will bring back to this dust, and then one time more we will bring you back from the same dust. So that's what it means basically. It's a reminder for all of us that we are going to go the same place one time. Minha khalaqnakum fiha nu'idukum.
Yeah, that's it. Now see. Just put it here, put by hand, it's faster, you know. Put it by your hand is faster. Okay, go ahead. Next one. Use both, but we're stopping now anyway. Okay, we are going to stop now. And then
اللهم امين يا رب العالمين. يا حنان يا منان يا بديع السماوات والارض يا ذا الجلال والاكرام يا حي يا قيوم يا رحيم يا لطيف يا لطيف يا لطيف يا كريم يا كريم يا كريم يا غفار يا غفار يا غفار يا خالقنا يا رازقنا يا ربنا يا خالق السبع سماوات والارض. اللهم يا رب العالمين، هذا عبدك ابن عبدك ابن امتك، ماض فيه حكمك عدل فيه قضاؤك. اللهم إنا نسألك سؤال الفقراء إليك، سؤال الضعفاء. اللهم إنا ندعوك ونرجوك أن تغفر له وترحمه. اللهم وسع مدخله، اللهم هون عليه ضمة القبر يا رب العالمين. اللهم افتح له بابا إلى الجنة. اللهم أريه مقامه في الجنة. اللهم أريه مقامه في جنات الفردوس الأعلى يا رب العالمين. اللهم آنس وحشته في قبره بعمله الصالح. اللهم اجعله يا رب العالمين. يا الله, we beg of you, you are the king of the kings. Ya Allah, accept him. Forgive his sins. Ya Allah, forgive his sins. Ya Allah, make him in the highest abode. Make him in the Firdaus, Ya Rabbil Alameen. والله كان مسيئا فتجاوز عن سيئاته. والله, if he were a sinner like any one of us here, forgive his sins. For you are the most forgiven. You forgive the sins that no one can imagine, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, forgive him, Ya Rabbi. Oh Allah, we witness all of us that he is a muwahid. Oh Allah, we witness that he says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and that he follows the teachings of your beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم. اللهم ارزق أهله الصبر والسلوان. اللهم ارزق أباه محمود خان وأمه وأخاه وعائلته يا رب العالمين الصبر. والله, give the family patience to endure this loss, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, give them patience, Ya Allah, and give them your care, Ya Allah. آمين 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 آمين. وصلي اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. اللهم اجعلنا جميعا في جنات النعيم إخوانا على سرر متقابلين. Oh Allah, gather all the brothers here and everyone present here in الفردوس الأعلى. Brethren, Ya Allah, لا حقد ولا غل في قلوبنا, no hatred and no animosity in our hearts. آمين آمين. Oh Allah, make the rest of our lives an experience that pleases you. اللهم اجعل ما تبقى خير مما سبق. Oh Allah, make what is the rest of our lives better than what was preceded, Ya Allah. آمين آمين. وصلي اللهم وسلم على نبينا محمد. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. إن العين لتدمع وإن القلب ليحزن وإنا بفراقك يا مقصود خان لمحزونون. The eyes are shedding tears and the hearts are feeling ache and pain, and the separation makes us sad. We'll meet you inshallah in the best abode. Ameen.
Ameen, ameen.
May Allah give you sabr.
Just next Saturday, inshallah, 1:30 at Al Falah Islamic Center. Next Saturday, 1:30, inshallah, there'll be Ijtimai Dua, inshallah, and that's all.
After Dhuhr, yeah. Please mention Maqsood Khan with the best things that you know. Rasulullah said, "Udkuru mawtakum bi khair." Anything good you know, mention it about him, inshallah. And read Surah Yasin, read Quran, inshallah, and make dua for him. Quran for Mayyit, inshallah, reaches him, inshallah. Read Quran, say Allah thawab of this Quran for the Mayyit. Allah is very generous, He accepts. Inshallah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليكم وما أنزل من قبلكم بالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو الله قريب من المحسنين. وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين فكان الله بكل شيء.
Shafkat, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah. I just need a little time.
अल्लाह ताला जन्नत में आलम का मुताफ़ फरमाए मकसूद खान को मस्जिद के मामलात में हमारी बड़ी मस्जिद नूर हराम के सिलसिले में हमारी इब्तिदाई कामों में उन्होंने बहुत साथ दिया और यहाँ तक हमारी मस्जिद का ग्राउंड ब्रेकिंग का प्रोग्राम है उसमें उसने आना था लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली उसकी डेथ हो गई तो अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला उनको जन्नत में आला मुकाम अता फरमाए और जज़ाए खैर अता फरमाए। उनकी जगह पे हम उनके वालिद साहब को इनवाइट करेंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला मस्जिद नूर अल हरम में। तो शुक्रिया आपका बहुत।